Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtaprayeshu Padreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 7th chapter, the son of Drona punished, text 15. Mata Shishunam Nidhanam Sutanam Nishamya Ghoram Paritapyamana Tadaruddad Vashpakala Kulakshi Tam Santvena Kiritamali. Draupadi, the mother of the 5 children of the Pandavas, after hearing the massacre of her sons, began to cry in distress with eyes full of tears. Trying to pacify her in her great loss, Arjun spoke to her thus. So we can just imagine the situation of Draupadi. She lost all her 5 sons. Now, just now it wasn't even in the battle. She would have been okay if she had lost the sons in the battle, but they were butchered when they were sleeping in their own camp. And just imagine the situation of Draupadi, how much she must be crying. Text 16. Tada shuchaste pramrijami bhadre yad brahma bandho shirat tainah Gandiv mukter vishakher pare tvakramya yat sanasyasi dagda putra. O gentle lady, when I present you with the head of that Brahman, after beheading him with arrows from my Gandhi bow, I shall then wipe the tears from your eyes and pacify you. Then, after burning your sons' bodies, you can take your bath standing on his head. See, he immediately figured out it was Ashwatthama who did this because there was nobody else who could have done that. So that's why he's saying, I present you with the head of that Brahman. And after beheading him with the arrows from my Gandhi bow. So Arjun has taken a vow now that I'll kill him and I'll behead him and then I'll bring his head to you. And then standing on the head of this Brahman, you do the tarpan of your sons. An enemy who sets fire to the house, administers poison, attacks all of a sudden with deadly weapons, plunders wealth, or usurps agricultural lands or entices one's wife is called an aggressor. Such an aggressor, though he be a Brahman or a so-called son of a Brahman, has to be punished in all circumstances. When Arjun promised to behead the aggressor named Ashwatthama, he knew very well that Ashwatthama was the son of a Brahman. But because the so-called Brahman acted like a butcher, he was taken as such, and there was no question of sin in killing such a Brahman son who proved to be a villain. So this was Arjun's vow, that he will kill and behead this Brahman, Ashwatthama. But let's see how the story turns now. There's so many turns and twists in Mahabharata and all these stories. Iti priyam valgu vichitra jalpe sa santvaitvat achyut mitra sutah anvad ravaddanshit ugra dhanva kapidhvajo guruputram rathena. Arjun, who's guided by the infallible Lord as friend and driver, thus satisfied the dear lady by such statements. Then he dressed in armor and armed himself with furious weapons, and getting into his chariot, he set out to follow Ashwatthama, the son of his martial teacher. The wonderful words Sut Goswami is using here, Arjun, who is guided by the infallible Lord as friend and driver. So Krishna is still the charioteer of Arjun. He is still driving the chariot of Arjun. And he is infallible Lord as friend, because Arjun knew Krishna would not let him go astray. He knew he would not let him go out of track. So he still chose Krishna as a charioteer, and he set after this man, Ashwatthama. Tamapatantam savilakshya durat kumarohodvigna manarathena paradravat pranapari suravyam yavad brahmam rudra bhayad rathakaha. Ashwatthama, the murderer of the princess, seeing from a great distance Arjun coming at him with great speed, fled in his chariot, panic-stricken, just to save his life, as Brahma fled in fear from Shiva. According to the reading matter, either Ka or Arka, there are two references in the Puranas. Ka means Brahma, who once became allured by his own daughter and began to follow her, which infuriated Shiva, who attacked Brahma with this trident. Brahmaji fled in the fear of his life. So what had happened, so even Brahmaji, once his daughter, she took the form of a female deer or she deer, and she was roaming around. And Brahmaji somehow, this is how Maya works. It's not like we can really tolerate or we can really win over Maya. It's very difficult. So Brahmaji, even he got allured by his own daughter, who was roaming around in the form of a she deer. And then Brahmaji took the form of a male deer and went after her. So at that time, there were many people there. Shivji was there. Four sons of Brahma, four Kumaras, they were there. And then the sons of Atri were there, six sons of Atri. Either Atri or Marichi, I'm forgetting the name of that rishi. Anyway, so Shivji's position, although Shivji appears from within the eyebrows of Brahma, but his position is greater than Brahmaji. So he said, it is said that he attacked Brahma with this trident, and Brahma fled in fear of the trident of Shivji. So Shivji could chastise Brahmaji. Look at the position of Brahmaji and look at the position of Shivji. When Brahmaji was about to make this mistake, Shivji assaulted him and chastised him. Four Kumaras, they knew Brahmaji is their father. Even though Brahmaji was making a mistake, they could not chastise him. They knew it would be an offense. So they started praying to Lord Vishnu, please give Brahmaji the right intelligence to do the right thing. But the six sons of Marichi, they started laughing at Brahmaji. So that was the offense they committed. Even though Brahmaji was not proper in his behavior, but these six sons of Marichi, they had no business laughing at Brahmaji, looking at the position of Brahmaji and look at their own position. So whatever they did, it fell under the category of offense. So they were given a curse that as soon as they are born, they will be killed by the hands of their own uncle. So actually they took birth twice. First they were born and they were killed by Hiranyakashipu. They were born from the sister of Hiranyakashipu. There was a sister also. And then secondly, they were born as the six sons of Devaki. And they were as soon as they were born, they were killed by Kansa. So this was because of that offense they committed against Brahmaji. So from that, we have to understand, even if in the Vaishnava Sangha, if we see somebody committing a mistake, it could be a grievous mistake like Brahmaji committed. It depends. Now it is, what is our position relative to that person's position who is committing a mistake? If we not understanding our position, if we are not his authority, or if we don't have that kind of relationship with him that we can correct him, if we still try to correct him, we we end up committing offense. So we have to be very careful. We can pray to Krishna, we can pray to Srila Prabhupada. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we try to correct him in a wrong way, chastising way, or talking back bad behind his back, or any other ways. And now these days, the best way to commit offense is by posting it on WhatsApp and Facebook. It takes only a few seconds, and the message goes to the whole world practically. So just imagine. I mean, if we had to talk, we could only talk to few people, and that offense would be little lesser. Now, if we talk, we just press one button on the Facebook or WhatsApp and send it. How many people we can talk to, and that much of offense we can commit. So we have to be very, very careful. Just like Shivji did not commit an offense because his position was on a higher level than Brahmaji. And then Prabhupada is explaining, as far as Arkaha is concerned, there is a reference in the Vaman Puran. There was a demon by the name Vidyun Mali who was gifted with a glowing golden airplane which traveled to the back of the sun. At night disappeared because of the glowing effulgence of this plane. Thus the sun god became angry, and with this virulent rays, he melted the plane. This enraged Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva then attacked the sun god, who fell away and at last fell down at Kashi, Varanasi, and the place became known as Lolarka. Anyway, that is a different story. But this Brahmaji story is important for us to remember, that we should not commit an offense by trying to find faults with the people who are senior to us. So here, seeing Arjun coming at him with great speed, Ashwatthama fled in his chariot, panic-stricken, to save his life. Text 19. Yada sharanam atmanamekshat shantavajinam astram brahmashiro mene atmatranam dvichatmajaha. When the son of Brahman, Ashwatthama, saw that his horses were tired, he considered that there was no alternative for protection outside of his using the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra, nuclear weapon. So when Ashwatthama saw that his horses were tired and they could not run any further, so he decided to use Brahmastra. That was again his immaturity. In the ultimate issue only, when there is no alternative, the nuclear weapon called the Brahmastra is applied. The word Dvij Atmaja is significant here because Ashwatthama, although the son of Dronacharya, was not exactly a qualified Brahman. The most intelligent man is called a Brahman, and it is not a hereditary title. So he was called a Brahm Atmaja, or Brahm Bandhu, actually. That is the right word. He's a friend of a Brahman, he's not a Brahman. A friend or son of a Brahman, when fully qualified, can be called a Brahman and not otherwise. Since Ashwatthama's decision is immature, he is purposely called herein the son of a Brahman. But he wasn't exactly acting like a Brahman. Athopsprishya salilam sandade tat samahita ajananna pih samharam prana krichra upastite. Since his life was in danger, he touched water in sanctity and concentrated upon the chanting of the hymns for throwing nuclear weapons, although he did not know how to withdraw such weapons. So this is how powerful these weapons, Brahmastra, was. That the trigger mechanism was not by pushing some buttons, it was by chanting of the mantras. So these warriors had to really practice the chanting of the mantras with the right meter and with the right pronunciation, because any syllable, if they make a mistake in, it could create havoc. So that's how they were entitled, or that's how they were trained. But there was a way to retract the weapon also. Ashwatthama somehow, he did not know that. Arjun knew that. Then later on, we'll see how Arjun withdrew the weapons. So there was a way to retract that missile, that Brahmastra. And the way to throw that weapon was by chanting the hymns. The subtle form of material activities are finer than the grosser methods of material manipulation. Such subtle forms of material activities are affected through purification of sound. The same method is adopted here by chanting hymns to act as nuclear weapons. Won't we be very much interested to find out what kind of mantras they chanted? And then we can all have nuclear weapons and we can start shooting. No, but one had to be very much qualified to learn those mantras. They were not given to anybody and everybody. Text 21. Tatah pradrish kritam teja prachandam sarvato disham prana padma abhipreksha vishnum jishnurvachaha. Thereupon a glaring light spread in all directions. It was so fierce that Arjun thought his own life in danger, and so he began to address Lord Shri Krishna. See, this is the life of a devotee. Any danger, the first thing that they do is take shelter of Krishna. They don't try to figure out how, Arjun didn't try to figure out how I can counteract this Brahmastra or how can I run away from this. Krishna is there, let's take shelter and let Krishna figure it out. He's infallible friend, he will definitely help me. So this is a great lesson for us. Okay, when we are in trouble, okay, we know Krishna is not there, but Krishna's name is there. And that is not different from Krishna. So we have to learn to take shelter of the holy name. Anytime something happens, we have to learn to take shelter of the holy name. And these simple tests or unit tests will be given to us many times in our life. And then we can figure out how much we are progressing. And the unit tests are, suppose we hit something, suppose our head got banged, or suppose somebody said something to us we didn't like. So what do we do? What is the first thing that comes out of our mouth? We have to watch that. As soon as we get angry, what is the first thing that comes out of our mouth? We have to see that. So these are the unit tests Krishna gives us so that he prepares us for the whatever semester exam or half-yearly exam and then the final exam. So we have to see where we are going. And then what will happen if the real exam comes? Then what will come out of our mouth? And that's why there's one acharya who said, it hardly matters what goes inside the mouth, but what matters most is what comes out of the mouth. Means we are so much of, we are careful of, or we try to figure out, oh, whether we can eat this or we cannot eat that, or this is banned or this is okay and this and that. But what should be more careful of what is coming out of the mouth, means what words are coming out of the mouth and in what mood are they coming out. So that is actually more important. And especially during on Ekadashi, it becomes a big deal. Oh, Prabhuji, we cannot eat that, we cannot eat this, we cannot do that. Yes, it is important, but Prabhupada didn't put so many restrictions on Ekadashi as now we have put so many restrictions. Text 22. Arjuna Vacha, Krishna Krishna Mahabhavo, Bhaktanam Abhyankara, Tvameko Dayamananam, Apvargo Asi Sansrite. Now look at the position of Arjuna. He is seeing Brahmastra coming at him with full speed. It's Brahmastra. It's not even little bitty missile that we see these days. Brahmastra. Brahmastra means it could burn the whole universe. It has so much of power. And Arjun, he is taking shelter of Krishna. Simply, oh my Lord Shri Krishna, you're the almighty personality of Godhead. There is no limit to your different energies. Therefore, only you are competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of your devotees. Everyone in the flames of material miseries can find the path of liberation in you only. See, everyone in the flames of material miseries can find the path of liberation in you only. Means basically devotees are so well clever or innocent, whatever we want to call it. They take shelter of Krishna. Krishna, you figure it out how to save us. And Krishna loves to save his devotees. It's not that he hates it, he loves it. He just wants to see the surrender of his devotees and how much faith they have in him. Perfect. Arjun was aware of the transcendental qualities of Lord Shri Krishna, as he had already experienced them during the Kurukshetra war, in which both of them were present. Therefore, Arjuna's version of Lord Krishna is authoritative. Krishna is almighty and is especially the cause of fearlessness for the devotees. A devotee of the Lord is always fearless because of the protection given by the Lord. Material existence is something like a blazing fire in the forest, which can be extinguished by the mercy of the Lord Shri Krishna. The spiritual master is a mercy representative of the Lord. Therefore, a person burning in the flames of material existence may receive the rains of mercy of the Lord through the transparent medium of the self-realized spiritual master. So the spiritual master, by his words, can penetrate into the heart of the suffering person and inject knowledge transcendental, which alone can extinguish the fire of material existence. So the devotee of the Lord is always fearless because of the protection given by the Lord. But he is fearless in terms of if he is doing the right thing, then Krishna will protect him. But not like if he wants to say steal something and he expects, oh, I'll be protected by Krishna, so no police can touch me. That's not something that Krishna would like to do. Text 23. Tvam adya purusha sakshad ishvara prakrite para mayam vyudasya chitshaktya kavalya sritatmani. Is the original personality of Godhead who expands himself all over the creation and is transcendental to material energy. You have cast away the effects of the material energy by dint of your spiritual potency. You are always situated in eternal bliss and transcendental knowledge. Just imagine Brahmastra is coming at full speed at Arjuna and he is speaking wonderful verses like this. If something like that happens to us, we won't even be able to chant properly Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's the only thing we know of. And even that will not come out properly. The Lord states in the Bhagavad Gita that one who surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord can get released from the clutches of nescience. Krishna is just like the sun, and Maya, material existence, is just like darkness. Wherever there is the light of the sun, darkness or ignorance at once vanishes. The best means to get out of the world of ignorance is suggested here. The Lord is addressed herein as the original personality of Godhead. From him, all of the personalities of Godhead expand. So Prabhupada gives some philosophy, and later on he says, he is Param, or the chief, therefore he is absolute. He has manifold energies, and through his diverse energies, he creates, manifests, maintains, and destroys the material world. In his own abode, however, everything is eternal and absolute. So this basically Arjuna is telling that you are the maintainer of the whole universe. So what is difficult for you to maintain us or protect us from this Brahmastra? So without your permission, destruction also cannot take place, and maintenance you can do anyway. Saeva jiva lokasya maya mohita chetasaha vidatse svena virena shreyo dharmadi lakshanam. And yet, though you are beyond the purview of the material energy, you execute the four principles of liberation, characterized by religion, and so on for the ultimate good of the conditioned souls. The personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, descends on the manifested world without being influenced by the material modes of nature. He descends out of his causeless mercy only to reclaim the fallen souls who are captivated by the illusory energy. So the Lord descends to eradicate the false sense of enjoyment, thus reclaim conditioned souls back to Godhead. That is the all-merciful nature of the Lord for the fallen souls. So actually, some place it is mentioned, this is the way of doing prayers. Prayers is, first we have to glorify that person. So this is what Arjuna is doing. And then once he is pleased, then we can ask him for whatever we want. Not right away we ask for, oh, give me this, give me that, oh Krishna. So we have to first glorify him. We have to first please him. And then we ask him for something. And this is what Arjuna is doing. He is glorifying Krishna, and then later on he will ask for the protection from that Brahmastra. So I'll stop here. It's already time 9 a.m. So see anybody has any questions or comments. So no question means we have agreed with everything. Wow. Yes, Mata. Hare Krishna.
Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mata. Bataiye.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Mata, we can hear you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, this last one which you said, first you have to glorify and then you ask from Krishna to help me. This is connecting me to my, it's like incidents, normal incidents that my daughter was asking something from my husband. So my husband was saying, Acha, you need something to just go. Pehle pani pilao, chai pilao, coffee pilao, and then I give you what you want. So this is something which, as a normal human being, we also expect that if somebody asking from us, तो पहले वो हमको थोड़ा pampering तो दो, and then we'll give you something. So it's like, I'm connecting with it. Okay, fine. We also have to, glorify first Krishna and then ask something.
So we are part and parcel of Krishna. That's why that tendency is in us too.
Never thought it for Krishna that, the cheeze humko chahiye and that we should give it to Krishna also. So it's just connecting, this is what very normal incident.
It's not for Krishna's benefit when we glorify him.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just that, it's the connection. It's just the brain is working like, okay, fine, yes, this is what we also want exactly like this. So we should give it. We never thought of it, we should glorify. This is the way we should ask from Krishna, actually.
Yeah.
Never. Before this, it just थोड़ा सा connect हुआ है. Okay, this is all.
We always go with our shopping list to Krishna. Krishna, do this, do that.
Yes.
We basically we give him orders. Krishna, do that for me.
Yeah. हम लोग तो मान जाते हैं. Yes, exactly. No, I'm connecting with my, daughter and husband की conversation. It just went last night only. She was asking something, Papa ye, Papa wo. अच्छा ऐसे थोड़ी मिलेगा. अभी पहले जाओ कॉफी बनाओ मेरे लिए, मुझे को चाय दो, मुझे खाने को दो, and then I'll give it to you. So it was just connecting. Okay, fine. If he's asking for something, so like we should also. अब सुबह ये बात हो गई. So it was just a good connection. Yeah.
Confirmed.
Very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Mata.
you, Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you once
Yes.
again, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class today. And, again, making us hit to the reality, the fact that we should always adhere to. So, thank you so much for your mercy and taking the classes for us. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mata. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.